What is the deal with Dos Vientos? If you're looking to move to the Thousand Oaks area, you may have heard of the neighborhood called Dos Vientos. What's the deal with this neighborhood? What's so great about it? What's not so great about it? Right now, I'm going to break down everything you need to know about the Dos Vientos Ranch community in Newbury Park, as well as the pros and cons of living here. If you're new to my channel, my name is Emily Berdon and I'm a residential real estate agent in the Conejo Valley, specializing in the community of Dos Vientos. If you're considering a move to this area or you already live here and are thinking about selling, go ahead and reach out so we can connect. All of my contact info is in the description of this video. And then be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so that you get notified whenever I publish another video on this area. Okay, a little backstory on Dos Vientos. It is part of the town of Newbury Park, which is part of the city of Thousand Oaks. So you can actually put any of those three names on your address and your mail will get to you just fine. Good grief. So what is it? Dos Vientos is an upscale master-planned community in the southwest corner of Thousand Oaks. It was built in the late 90s and early 2000s, and it really put Newbury Park on the map. If you've watched my other videos, you know that Newbury Park used to be the place that people moved for inexpensive, modest homes. It was not as desirable until Dos Vientos came along and brought up the property values of everything around it. I think I got it all. Interesting side note, planning for the Dos Vientos community started in 1976. It took 21 years before they broke ground in 1997. There was a lot of pushback from the Newbury Park community, several lawsuits, and a slow-moving city approval process that the builder had to endure. This community of over 2,300 homes across 23 tracts started attracting families who wanted a safe, upscale, family-friendly community. So who lives here? Dos Vientos has a good mix of young families, empty nesters, and retirees. Additionally, a lot of relocators end up moving here. Amgen Biotech is Newbury Park's largest employer, and they recruit scientists and engineers from all over the world. As a result, there are a lot more young families in DV compared to the rest of Newbury Park, where there's more of an aging population. Do we just not want to do this? What does it cost? Dos Vientos homes are going to cost more than any other neighborhood in Newbury Park, but less than similar neighborhoods in Westlake Village and Oak Park. There's another similar neighborhood to Dos Vientos in Thousand Oaks called Lang Ranch, and the homes here are going to be comparable in price to those. DV has everything from modest townhomes to grand estates. Your price point is going to range between $700,000 for a townhome to upwards of $4 million for a custom home with acreage. At the time of this video, a single-family home is going to start at about $1 million, and the median home price is $1.35 million. Compare that to the rest of Newbury Park, where the median home price is $900,000, and you have to ask yourself again, what's the deal with Dos Vientos? Don't worry, I got you. I'm going to give you 3 pros and 3 cons of living in Dos Vientos. Pro number 1, it's beautiful here. As you enter the neighborhood, you almost feel like you're driving through a resort community. The curb appeal is very well curated with a classic style and stunning views of surrounding hills and mountains. The medians are always very well manicured, and a drive through the neighborhood leaves you with a feeling of sophistication and class. The downside of all this beauty, you pay for it with your HOAs. Depending on your track, your HOAs can cost anywhere between $100 and $400 a month. And the HOAs are pretty strict about what you can and cannot do with your property. But some say it's a small price to pay to live in a beautiful community. Do you want me to wait when a car drives by? Pro number 2, the weather. Dos Vientos means 2 winds in Spanish, and you will feel one or both of those winds on a daily basis. It's more like a breeze, though. There are times of year that it does get quite windy, but overall it's mild and pleasant. Did I talk about that? The only downside, since it doesn't get that hot, you will need to heat your pool more than if you lived in Westlake or Agora Hills. And tell your visitors to bring a sweater, even in the summer. Once the sun dips behind the mountain, the temperature drops significantly. Dos Vientos is a big draw for people who want the same kind of weather that you get near the ocean. If you've watched my other Newbury Park video, you know that Newbury Park, and even more so, Dos Vientos, has its own microclimate. You almost always get fog in the mornings, along with ocean breezes throughout the day that keep temperatures here mild. Pro number 3, The community. The community in Dos Vientos is tight-knit and active. At any time of day, you'll see people hiking, biking, running, doing yoga in the park, playing tennis or pickleball, or even horseback riding. The people here tend to be friendly and laid back. You will see a lot of luxury cars, but honestly, nobody really cares what kind of car you drive or how big your house is. They just care if you're a good neighbor. It's rare to find a neighborhood that's this upscale and this laid back at the same time. Dos Vientos has its own highly rated TK through 8 school right in the middle of the neighborhood. It's the only TK through 8 school in the entire Conejo Valley, so many people want to live here just for that reason. On school mornings, you'll see kids walking, biking, and scootering to school. They descend upon the campus from all directions. It reminds you of a time when the world was a simpler, safer place. Dos Vientos also has its own small shopping center with a couple restaurants, a preschool, a church, a coffee shop, and a couple other small businesses. This is very convenient for residents of DV, but the businesses here struggle to stay afloat. I'm not sure if it's because the community doesn't support them enough or if the community is just not big enough to support them. There is constant changeover of ownership and businesses coming and going. In addition to all of that, Dos Vientos is a very safe and connected community. Living in Dos Vientos, you really get to know your neighbors, and that is not true of all Newbury Park neighborhoods. You'll regularly see block parties, and many families feel comfortable letting their kids bike and scooter around the neighborhood unsupervised. Did you get the kids biking? Scooter. That wasn't a bike, that was a scooter. Because of where this neighborhood is situated, no one really has any business being here unless they live here. So, speaking of where this neighborhood is situated, that brings me to the cons. I'm just gonna stop. Con number 1, it's isolated. Newbury Park is already the furthest removed of all the Conejo Valley towns, but once you exit the freeway, you have another 10-minute drive to get to Dos Vientos. That means you're driving further than any other location to get to markets, restaurants, and shops. Almost all of the best restaurants are in Westlake Village, but none of them will deliver to you if you live in Dos Vientos. You're gonna be limited to the restaurants in Newbury Park and some of the restaurants in Thousand Oaks for food delivery. The upside to this isolation, you are living in a safe, serene, connected community. You're surrounded by nature and you're just a short drive or hike to Malibu. Con number 2, cookie cutter tract housing. Each subdivision or tract in Dos Vientos has about 5 floor plans that are repeated throughout. Some of these floor plans are great, but some of them can be awkward and dark, especially the homes that are situated closer together. For the most part, the lots in DV tend to be pretty small. Some people like this because there's less landscaping that you have to maintain. Typically, the home is going to have either a pool or a yard, but often not both. Now, there are some larger lots and custom homes in Dos Vientos, but you're gonna pay a premium for them. I can feel the sun. Okay, also worth mentioning, although DV is the new community in Newbury Park, it's already 20 plus years old. And the original finishes that the builder used were not very high end. So if you purchase a home that has not been remodeled, you're probably gonna wanna get it remodeled. Con number 3. Con number 3, there's not a lot of mature landscaping or tall trees. Part of living in a newer community means younger, less mature landscaping. If this area had big, mature trees everywhere, Dos Vientos would be mwah, mwah, mwah. Is that silly? But the age of this community is not the only reason for this. The soil here is shallow and sits on top of bedrock. This means that tree roots can't go down deep enough for the trees to grow really tall. The upside? There's less to catch fire when wildfires come through. During the 2018 Woolsey fires, none of the DV homes were burned, unlike Agora Hills and Oak Park, which were hit pretty hard. I'm almost done. All right, this was a beast of a video, but there was so much that I wanted to cover. So if you're considering a move to the Dos Vientos area, you should also consider Newbury Park, Thousand Oaks, Westlake Village, and Agora Hills. I've created pros and cons videos for all those neighborhoods, and they're linked below, as well as my video on the most desirable neighborhoods in Thousand Oaks. Again, be sure to subscribe to my channel as I'm always creating new videos on the Conejo Valley neighborhood. Okay, on the Conejo Valley neighborhoods. I'm just gonna practice. My contact info is in the description below, so reach out if you're considering buying or selling in the Conejo Valley. It would be my pleasure to assist you. Just leave it at that. Talk to you soon. See you soon. See you later. See you next time. I need to get all that in. Beast. I said community too many times. It's a lot of community. As you drive through the neighborhood, oh, good grief. I'm gonna wait for these cars. What is the deal with this area? A lot of cars. So reach out. I'm never gonna get this done. Where's everybody going? Gosh, that was intense. Does my hair look okay? I wanna see how it looks. So reach out if you need. The upside of that, well, yeah, we don't, the shallow here is soil. Whenever I publish, just do all that again. Is that silly? Park on them. It would be everything. Big, tall, luscious. I would move here. There's not a lot of tall matures. I had to give you that one. And then what? How was that?